Now, Gauteng Premier David Makhura and Eskom's representatives are visiting Diepkloof in Soweto in the wake of ongoing protests over electricity disconnections. The power utility wants roughly 700 households to each pay a 6,000 rand fine to be reconnected. Reporter Lindokuhle Xulu is on the ground and joins us now. Good afternoon, Lindokuhle. How has the community received the Premier's delegation? I understand that he isn't physically present, but how has the community received this delegation? Because we know they're deeply aggrieved.
That's right. There was, in fact, some ongoing meetings today. Basically, residents, the Premier's office, as well as Eskom, just engaging on some of the solutions they would want to find when it comes to the issues of Eskom in Soweto, particularly in Zone 3 here in Diepkloof. We do know that they have not had electricity for quite some time. It's been cut off by Eskom, and they're saying that it is because of the debt that Eskom, or rather that the residents of Diepkloof Zone 3 have with Eskom. But the Premier then sent a delegation to try and find common ground when it comes to the negotiations around the Eskom issue. But we want to now bring in some of the representatives from the Premier's office, just to give us a sense really of some of the issues that you've been able to iron out at this stage. And I know it's not a lot, but thank you so much for joining us. First of all, there were meetings with Eskom and other stakeholders. Tell us what happened there and what was some of the solutions that were presented.
Good day to you and your viewers. Briefly, we started since Monday. You will know the delegation from this particular area marched to our offices. Then from the office, we had to respond. On Monday, we met with leadership. Leadership put at certain things in those things indicating that Eskom is not playing the ball as expected. We then went to Eskom. Eskom was undermined that if you are not going to pay the 6,000 or you are not showing any movement of payment of that program money, we are not willing to engage. Persuaded each other up until this morning. Eskom met with ourselves again. In the meeting with Eskom, Eskom said, delegate from the Premier's office, please go and engage community and leadership. And in their coming up with something that will be bringing on table, then it will open our negotiation. I was in the meeting with the leadership. Leadership wanted to go for what is called 30% of what is owed. Eskom wanted either 60% or more. The community, in terms of its consensus, pushing that we are not refusing to pay as residents, but we are saying we cannot pay on any terms, Eskom terms, or any person terms, but their own terms as residents. That give a chance of this afternoon for us to re-engage with leadership and say, what are these terms that you think residents are talking about? So that at around 9 o'clock, we re-meet with Eskom and say, this is what our residents are thinking for. Of course, you'll have heard some saying, if we are not lighting now, within 24 hours, we might want to go to the president, we might want to go to these particular spaces to demonstrate and show our light. But the residents in generally are saying we are willing to pay, but let us not be punished by Eskom problems.
I did say I will not hold you any longer because there are community members as well as the community leadership here. Just to give us a sense then from their side. And I'll start with the councillor. Thank you so much. I'll come this side also to residents. But thank you so much for speaking to us as well. Eskom has put their conditions on the table. Obviously, you did not agree with many of them, but give us a sense then of what you, the community, has spoken about and what they want ultimately from the proposal that Eskom has put on the table.
Thank you very much, and the listeners. Indeed, we have said a mouthful. We in Zone 3, we are saying Eskom cannot pressurize us. I'm still maintaining that Eskom is not going to punish us because of their mistakes. I'm saying Eskom have made a lot of mistakes, and now they want the community to pay. That is not going to happen. We are saying they must come down and come and rectify their mistake. And the community of Zone 3, they want to pay. They are ready. But Eskom must never come and tell us, if you don't pay 6,000, we are not going to light. So the fight is still on. We are here. I'm saying as a councillor for Ward 29, Eskom, come down, come and rectify your mistake, come and talk with us. We are on the table, we are still there, let's discuss. meanwhile you rectify your mistake, but we need the lights. Because how do we rectify the mistake? Meanwhile, the people are still in dark. Because of not their doing, because of Eskom system. I'm still saying Eskom is arrogant. Eskom doesn't want to listen to us. We at the ground, it's us who's feeling the pain. So let them come and correct their mistakes. Let them agree that yes, we've made mistake. We didn't activate your pad where you must pay. We didn't do 123. Now we're here. But put the lights on, then we're talking. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to the ward councillor there. I did promise my gentlemen around here, as well as some of the community leaders, that I would speak to them also just to get their views, because there are conditions that have been set for Eskom, as much as they had put a proposal for the community here. But what we will be doing is, of course, we will be on the ground throughout the day, and we know we have another opportunity just to give the community as well a chance to speak in terms of some of those conditions and what they are willing to do as far as Eskom's proposal, as well as some of their conditions. One of them being that the lights must be on in 24 hours or Eskom will face the full wrath of this particular community. We will be speaking to them a bit later on about that.
No, Lindokuhle, thank you very much. But 6,000 does seem rather steep, given that it's December and people have to budget for uniform for next year. But we'll see how that story unfolds. Lindokuhle Xulu, they are a reporter monitoring that ongoing story of electricity in Soweto.